With new evidence coming to light, Tay-K's situation is looking worse than ever. His life as we know it might be over. The Texas criminal justice system doesn't play around, and Tay-K, whose real name is Tamor McIntyre, is finding that out the hard way. At just 24 years old, he's already served 6 years of a 55-year sentence for murder. Now, in April 2025, he's back in court facing another capital murder charge that could end any chance of ever getting out. On April 1st, Tay-K sat in a Bexar County courtroom as 4 witnesses testified against him, presenting evidence tied to the 2017 killing of photographer Mark Anthony Salivar during a robbery in San Antonio. If convicted, he could face life without parole, a devastating outcome for someone still in his mid-20s. What's even more shocking is that back in February 2024, Tay-K turned down a plea deal that could have potentially reduced his time. That decision now seems risky, as prosecutors appear to have a strong case against him. The trial was originally set for February 2025, but was delayed due to pending ballistics evidence. During court, people also noticed Tay-K had a neck injury, sparking speculation about his treatment behind bars. It's another reminder of how far he's fallen from being a rising rap star. According to reports, while on the run from his first murder charge in 2017, Tay-K allegedly tried to rob photographer Mark Salivar for his camera gear. When Salivar resisted, things quickly took a violent turn.
Drove off. They had to pull into a Chick-fil-A parking lot nearby to get him off. When the car stopped, Mark got up, stomped on the windshield as hard as he could, breaking it. This agitated Tay-K, and he allegedly leaned out the window and shot him, flinging his body onto the ground and
This alleged crime happened during one of the wildest chapters in recent hip-hop history. After cutting off his ankle monitor and fleeing house arrest for his first murder charge, Tay-K didn't just go into hiding. He recorded The Race, a song literally about being on the run from the law. In the music video, he even posed next to his own wanted poster. The song blew up, hitting number 44 on the Billboard charts and going platinum, making Tay-K possibly the only rapper to reach mainstream success while actively being hunted by U.S. Marshals. But the same day the video dropped, June 30th, 2017, the Marshals caught up with him in New Jersey. That moment was next-level marketing, but it also backfired. During his 2019 trial for the murder of Ethan Walker, his first murder case, prosecutors used The Race and its video as evidence, saying it showed how little he cared about the crime. Now, for the family of Mark Salivar, this second trial is about getting justice. But some fans online see it differently. On Twitter, people are speaking out, calling the new trial unfair. One user wrote, "Starting a trial 8 years later is evil. This isn't about justice. Tay-K is already never getting out. It's a waste of court time and tax money." Another added, "Yeah, I get that he has to face the consequences, but he's already been sentenced to over 25 years. Giving him another life sentence feels like too much." Some people are worried that Tay-K could end up with an especially harsh sentence because of the judge's tough reputation. One Twitter user even said they feared Tay-K might get the death penalty if it were an option, calling the judge mean and strict. But since Tay-K was a minor at the time of the crime, the death penalty isn't possible, though life without parole definitely is. Whether or not he's found guilty in this second murder trial, the phrase "goodbye forever" is starting to feel real. He's already serving a 55-year sentence with a chance for parole after 27. 5 years, meaning he'd be in his 40s before even having a shot at freedom. Any extra time added would almost guarantee he never gets out. The young rapper who once had the music world's attention is now sitting in a courtroom, facing the possibility of never walking free again. One Twitter user summed it up by saying, "Tay-K is already doing 55 years, and now they're trying him for a second murder. They're trying to make an example out of him. He's definitely not coming home." To understand how someone with so much talent ended up in this position, you have to look at where it all began. Tay-K, born Tamor McIntyre on June 16, 2000 in Long Beach, California, grew up in a world where gang culture wasn't just outside, it was in his home. Both of his parents were gang affiliated, and from an early age, crime was a normal part of his environment.
Both of his parents were gang members, and even though his dad was always in and out of prison, his mom was still active with the Baby Insane Crips while raising the 2 kids, him and his sister Kayla. But things really took a turn for the worse when his dad was doing a 7-year run in prison for a deal gone bad in 2002. Without a father figure around, it was hard for him to find guidance.
When Tay-K's father was sentenced to 7 years in prison in 2002, life became even more unstable. Eventually, his mother couldn't manage on her own, and both Tay-K and his sister Kayla were placed into foster care. That experience left lasting emotional scars. Kayla later said, "Most of our life, we never stayed with our parents. We just bounced around different foster homes." That phrase, bounced around, says a lot. It meant moving between different homes, schools, rules, and people, and often feeling unwanted by the families they were placed with. At one point, their mother managed to leave gang life behind and move the family to Las Vegas. But when Tay-K's father was released from prison in 2009, the family relocated to Texas. Instead of things getting better, Tay-K's situation reportedly got worse. His father became abusive, and Tay-K often stayed with friends just to avoid being at home. By 2014, while in his freshman year at Martin High School in Arlington, Tay-K found some hope in music. He formed a rap group called the Daytona Boys with his friends Eric Santana Sage Johnson and Jalen Pimps Bell. They uploaded songs to SoundCloud and performed locally. And for a short time, it seemed like music could lead to a better future. But problems kept coming. An old tweet showed he was expelled from school for bringing weed to class. With no school and no safe home, Tay-K was basically living on the streets, crashing at friends' houses and getting more involved in crime. His first major run-in with violence happened on New Year's Day 2016, when his friend Santana Sage shot and killed a college student named Sarah Mutschlechner during a road rage incident. Tay-K was in the car when it happened. Tay-K didn't face any charges for the 2016 New Year's Day shooting, possibly giving him a false sense of invincibility. Just 6 months later, he was involved in a crime that would change his life forever. In July 2016, 16-year-old Tay-K and 6 others planned a home invasion to rob Zachary Belote, who they believed was a drug dealer. But the situation quickly spiraled out of control when they found not just Zachary, but also his roommate Ethan Walker in the house. During the robbery, Letharian Merritt shot and killed Walker, and another accomplice, Sean Robinson, shot and injured Belote. Even though Tay-K wasn't the one who pulled the trigger, Texas law says anyone involved in a crime like this can be held equally responsible for what happens. So Tay-K was charged with murder. He was first placed in juvenile detention, but was later released to his sister Kayla's house under house arrest while waiting for trial. After 8 months on house arrest, Tay-K made a bold and dangerous decision. He cut off his ankle monitor and went on the run. He even bragged about it on social media. During the 3 months he was a fugitive, he allegedly killed a photographer named Mark Salivar in San Antonio and recorded his now infamous song, The Race, where he rapped about being on the run from the law. The same day the music video dropped, June 30th, 2017, U.S. Marshals caught him in New Jersey. In July 2019, Tay-K was put on trial for Ethan Walker's murder. Even though he didn't pull the trigger, he was convicted under the law and sentenced to 55 years in prison. One thing that shocked many people was how different Tay-K's sentence was compared to his co-defendants. One of the girls who helped plan the robbery reportedly only got probation, while Tay-K got decades behind bars.
Here's where it starts to get wickeder. You remember little white girl from earlier? Tay-K's lawyer brings up the fact that she got 20 years, which was changed to 10 months probation. His lawyer said, what's the difference between the two of them? In this case, you have 2 16-year-olds that didn't anybody. In fact, she planned the whole thing. So technically, he shouldn't get more time, right? The judge said, that doesn't sound fair, but technically this is Texas. 55 years.
Many people, including Tay-K himself, believed that the justice system was unfair to him and that racial bias played a role in how harsh his sentence was. His uncle said in an interview that Texas tends to be especially tough on black defendants, and that if the same crime had happened in California, Tay-K might already be free. Even Charleston White, who's usually known for being tough on crime, said Tay-K's punishment was too much. He pointed out that Tay-K wasn't even the shooter in the first case, yet he got more time than the person who actually pulled the trigger. White also talked about Tay-K's age and traumatic upbringing, saying he was just a kid with an undeveloped brain trying to cope with childhood PTSD, like a soldier, but without any support. Now, as Tay-K faces a second murder trial, his situation looks even worse. He's already 6 years into a 55-year sentence, and if he gets life without parole, it would mean he'll likely never be free again. For someone who once had so much potential, that outcome feels especially heartbreaking. Despite having a short music career, Tay-K's talent was clear. His song The Race went platinum and caught the attention of big-name artists like 21 Savage and Tyga, who made remixes. Even now, years later, Tay-K still has almost 3 million monthly Spotify listeners. Fans often wonder what could have been, with many calling him a lost generational talent, someone whose career ended before it even really began.
I think he would have been a good soldier because he likes the contact, he likes the tactical stuff, he's very intelligent, he's very smart, he's very articulate. I don't know what people or what social media think of him, but he's a smart kid. If he was able to do that at 14, 15, imagine now, Imagine. So if you take that time capsule away and that never happened, how far would he be right now in the music industry? He came out with the Playboy Cardis, the XX Extensions. He was the leader of that SoundCloud. So imagine now what he'll be probably, and I mean, this, like I said, there's no hit to anybody else, but he'll probably be leading a young school like NBA Youngboy, probably way above that situation. Lil Durk, probably with young Lil Baby, all of them. He'll be up there with them. You know what I'm saying? Because I saw his talent. I hear his music. I hear his unreleased. I talk to him. He reads. He's getting into a mode of more maturity. So it's like, I just, I pray for him every day, and I pray for his mentor, and I pray for my sister. So, one day they can reunite.
Tay-K's uncle, who still stays in touch with him, believes that Tay-K could have become one of the biggest names in hip-hop if his life had taken a different direction. Fans have mixed and emotional reactions to Tay-K's legal situation. One post on X, formerly Twitter, summed it up by saying, "The saddest part of this is that if you listen to Santana World, you can tell Tay-K had real rap talent and energy, but for some reason he felt the need to actually hurt and kill people." It's a sad story. On Reddit, discussions often focus on his wasted potential. One user commented, "Yeah, obviously he's a murderer, but we're just saying if he wasn't, he'd be huge." Others are less forgiving, with one person calling him a demon and saying, "Let him rot behind bars." These different views show how complicated cases like Tay-K's can be. How do we separate someone's artistic talent from the serious crimes they've committed? Should a rough childhood or a broken system reduce how much blame they get for their actions? And at what age is someone no longer able to change? While in prison, Tay-K has stayed somewhat active online, sometimes sharing what life is like for him. In one post, he compared his prison cell to a hamster cage, giving people a glimpse into how hard long-term confinement can be on someone so young. There have also been worrying reports about his behavior in prison, including claims that he's been involved in more serious incidents behind bars. While in prison, Tay-K reportedly started his own gang called the Rugrats, suggesting that even after everything he's been through, he's struggled to fully let go of the criminal mindset that led to his downfall. As his second murder trial continues in 2025, Tay-K's story stands as a powerful reminder of how quickly potential can be wasted and how permanent the consequences of violence can be. For the families of Ethan Walker and Mark Salivar, no amount of musical success could ever justify the loss of their loved ones. After Tay-K's first conviction, Walker's father expressed his pain, saying it felt like Tay-K was dancing on Ethan's grave when he released The Race. They're seen as a cautionary tale about street life, an indictment of a justice system that fails at-risk youth, or simply the tragic story of a young man who made life-altering choices, Tay-K's saga resonates deeply. It touches on universal themes: talent, tragedy, justice, and loss. At just 24 years old, Tay-K faces the very real possibility of spending the rest of his life behind bars. The title, Goodbye Forever, takes on a heavy, multi-layered meaning. It's goodbye to a career that could have been, goodbye to the freedom most young people take for granted, and ultimately, goodbye to every alternate future that died the moment he chose violence. There's no reset button for Tay-K, only the harsh reality of a life effectively over before it ever truly began. Let me know if you want this turned into a full narration script, or if you'd like to merge everything into one long video piece.